Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I am here in my tiny house and about to go on a walk or a sit spot. And I also have a slight bit of cleaning up to do in my tiny house because I have been gone on and off for the last I don't even know, like month and a half. And so why is this? So I have to clean it up. And I've just been putting it off and putting it off because I want to get rid of some things and I'm not sure what I'm gonna get rid of right now. So I'm gonna go for a walk and then gonna clean up a little bit and we'll see where the day takes me. Some of you guys may have remembered that I had a sit spot that was over water, which is actually right down over there. But after my practicum ended and I got certified, I just kind of felt like I wanted a new place, and the place I chose was beautiful in its own way, but I was wanting something else, and so I found this tree. It's actually two trees that kind of split, and sometimes I sit in between there, sometimes I'm just like this where I am, and I do think it's important to get out in nature and find a space that you feel like can be yours for a little while. It doesn't have to be, you know, years. It can just be a few months. It can be a week or two. But just kind of finding your own space that you can come back to. And I don't remember if I've talked about it on YouTube or not, but I've talked about triggers and how the tiny house is a real trigger for me to just realize, you know, that I'm powerful and that I can create things. So it's just been a source of inspiration, and what this sit spot is a place that you come back to, and it's almost as if you immediately drop into that space of you know, whatever was coming up for you when you were last there, which is often, you know, what's really important in life, at least in my case, and a lot of gratitude and just looking forward to where I need to spend my time and what would be most helpful for myself and for others as well. So it's also a trigger in some senses that just really brings you home and it grounds you, and I think in general that's what nature is, but if you can find a specific place, I think it becomes more powerful, I guess. So I always worry that I'm gonna do this, and then I just did. So I left my keys at my sit spot, I think. I found my keys, obviously, because I am driving home. just here drinking some tea. It's chamomile tea. I usually have this other mushroom tea lately, but I just didn't really feel like it this morning. And I sweeten it with stevia, which is super great. I'm about to start journaling a little bit, and then I'm gonna get into some things on the computer that I have to do. I have mentioned in a few videos now, I think, maybe just one, but you know how I was experimenting with closing my window of time that I was eating and not eating so late or so early. And I've just been looking at a lot more research lately and just feeling inspired to keep doing that. And so it is 11:54 right now, almost 12 o'clock. I did get up a little later than I have been, but I'm going to do some journaling, and then I'm going to do the computer work, and so I probably won't eat until 1:30 maybe. I just don't really feel hungry, so that's all good. I will track the nutrients and calories for you of the food that I do eat, and I'll show you the 2 apps that I'm using to do that, to make sure I'm getting enough nutrients and enough calories to support my body and what I need to do. My interest, I've always been interested in health, but with, I guess, a more conscious intention to focus on my health, I've also been re-inspired. So I just finished that exercise, and now I am about to clean up my stuff. So I just counted my clothing again, and I have just under 50 items. I have 47 shirts and pants and other things, and then I have 15 items that I'm putting in a box right now, separate from the ones that I'm keeping, that I'm going to keep in a box for a few weeks, and then I have a reminder on my phone set so that I can go there in a few weeks and re-examine to make sure that I want to get rid of everything that's in that box, and then I will get rid of it. It is currently 1:04 right now, and I'm just going to, I just finished another book. I'm going to start this book, and I know I talked about it probably a month or 2 ago, but I am still reading a book a week, and I've been writing up notes that I take during the book, and then that's going to serve as inspiration for, you know, blog posts and videos and just things that I end up sharing. So I'm gonna lay down here and read for about 15-20 minutes, and then I shall go and have some food. Alright, so I got all the food mixed in here. I've got a wrap and a whole pita that I cut in half. Let's see. It's just past 2 o'clock. It's 2:07. Alright, so what is in this is cilantro, cucumber, tomato, green pepper, avocado, 2 tablespoons of a organic salsa, a wrap, which I mentioned. There's a can of green pigeon peas. I usually would cook them, but I didn't plan ahead enough, and we happen to have a can. A little bit of lemon juice, the pita bread, and some dandelion greens that I picked from the yard. So all that came out to, along with the green powder stuff and the half a banana and lychees, came out to 1,044 calories. I'll be having something after this, I'm not sure what, but something else for a little bit more food. And then, as you saw, I'm going to be closing my window of time at 5:36. So I gave myself a 4-hour window today. Who knows, if I feel hungry later outside of that, of course I'll eat, but this seems to be working pretty good right now. So I just finished eating, and I think I'm going to close this window on my app. That doesn't mean doesn't mean I won't have food later or that I can't. I just personally kind of feel pretty full right now, and I don't think I'll want more food later. So I'm gonna close that. It was about an hour and a half of eating today, as you can see here. Maybe there's varying times. There's 5 hours, 1 hour, 3.5 hours, and today was 1.5 hours. I'm not super picky. I just kind of do what feels good and what makes sense with my life. And I do want to say that not everyone will this work for. There's parts of it that are challenging. Someone who has a difficult relationship with food to start with, I would say probably wouldn't want to just jump on this style of eating. Personally, I have had a really great background and have had a really good relationship with food, and so there aren't those concerns there for me. But you know, I'm just sharing what I'm doing, and that doesn't mean that necessarily will work for you. But it's worth maybe researching if it sounds intriguing to you, to see if maybe you are someone who could benefit from this. Typically after I eat a lot of food, I ended up with 15, I'll show this maybe at the end of the video, or I don't really know, ended up with just over 1,500 calories for my meal. You also should take into account how much you weigh and your size, because I'm 5'2" and 115 pounds, and you know, I don't need to be eating as much food as someone who's 6 foot or taller and weighs a lot more than I do. And I just did a little bit of exercise, maybe for like 30 minutes, so that should be sufficient for me, and I'll continue to drink water and tea throughout my afternoon, evening. Typically after a meal like this, I will then do an hour, maybe a little bit more, of kind of not mindless work, but work that I don't really need to think to accomplish. And so that's a lot of computer stuff. So that's what I'm gonna go. So that's what I'm gonna go do now, and I will check in with you later. got all my cards here, and I have to ship out another deck today, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm headed to my tiny house to just got into my tiny house. I am ending the video here. Let me turn this off. I had a super fun and motivating day. I feel like I really accomplished a lot, which isn't always the case with my days, but I do feel good, and I'm feeling more motivated than I have been in a little while, so I attribute that to getting out to my sit spot. One thing I will say is that I feel like, you know, we all see things online, and we all witness other people's lives, and, you know, we have these grand expectations of, like, you know, mimicking them, or, you know, creating that lifestyle for yourself. And, you know, that's great. It's really awesome to have, why does that keep happening? It's great to have a goal, something that's motivating you, but at the same time you have to be asking, you know, how your unique gifts that you offer this world, how they can impact others. How can you be of service to others? And through that, then you'd be able to create that lifestyle. And I think the problem is that we're thinking reverse. It's like, you know, once we create that lifestyle for ourselves, once we get the money, then we can be of service to others. We can add value to their lives, and it's the wrong way to approach anything in life. But I'm really referencing more business and money related things. That is all that I have for this video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you super soon. Boy, do I wish you could see the stars. Y'all should get outside soon.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood, but life